Let's jump right into Chatur Nai, or The Clever Barber. This classic Hindi folktale is an absolute masterclass in unchecked ambition, the psychology of a scam, and honestly, some truly beautiful karmic retribution. We're going to see exactly how one guy's desperate need for a little respect spirals completely, wildly out of control in this explainer.
So meet Param. He's a barber by trade, but he's basically been the right-hand man to the local village pundit for years. And I mean, Param knows his stuff. He's learned the rituals, memorized the mantras, does all the heavy lifting. But who gets all the glory? The pundit, of course. Param, he just gets mocked. People literally brush him off as just the barber's son. You know that incredibly frustrating feeling of doing all the group project work but someone else gets the A? That's Param. And that deep-seated resentment, it pushes him right to the edge. He decides he's done playing second fiddle. He's going to pack up, leave town entirely, and pull off the ultimate reinvention.
Section 1. From Barber to Brahmin. He travels miles away to a brand new village where absolutely no one knows his face. And check out this instantaneous rebrand. He just strolls up to a random house, knocks on the door, and introduces himself. Hello, I am Param Sharma. I am a pundit and perform religious rituals. The sheer audacity here is incredible. He spots a gullible-looking villager and uses some top-tier psychological manipulation. He basically says, hey, if you offer a traveling Brahmin like me a place to crash, your home is going to be incredibly blessed. The villager totally falls for it. He's practically tripping over himself to give Param a free room and meals. Literally on day one, Param has completely upgraded his social status and scored free rent, all by faking a last name and speaking with a little fake authority.
Move into Section 2, Scamming the Villagers.
But, you know, a free room is never enough once you get a taste of that kind of power. This is where Param escalates from a little white lie to a full-blown spiritual scam. A stressed-out villager comes to him for advice, saying he accidentally slept with his foot pointing toward the temple of goddess Lakshmi and dropped some money. His wife is convinced it's a terrible omen. Now, a real spiritual guide would probably calm the guy down. But our guy Param, he cranks up the panic dial. He tells them it's a massive sign of disrespect. The only solution? A Mahayagya, a huge elaborate ritual. And guess what this ritual conveniently requires? The villager has to fork over rice, lentils, potatoes, fresh fruit, and of course, cold hard cash as an offering, which naturally goes straight into Param's own pockets. It is literally textbook manipulation. The guy is leveraging pure fear for free groceries.
Section 3. Greed and the New Marriage.
Word of this incredibly powerful new priest spreads like wildfire, and a local family comes to him with a marriage proposal for their daughter, Aruna. At first, Param plays hard to get. The source material actually says he rudely rejects her based on her looks, but Aruna's father is desperate, so he throws down a massive sweetener. He tells Param, I have a 2-story house, and I'll sign the whole thing over to you if you marry my daughter. Well, what do you know? Instantly, Param's hesitation completely vanishes. Suddenly, he thinks it's a fantastic idea. He tossed whatever tiny shred of morality he had left right out the window for some prime real estate.
And right here is where we hit peak arrogance. Does Param treat his new wife, Aruna, with even a shred of decency? Absolutely not. He immediately sets up this incredibly toxic, domineering vibe. He barks orders for water, forces her to massage his feet all the time, and cruelly rubs it in her face that her parents had to literally beg him to marry her. He even throws out this nasty threat, saying, serve me well or in a few days I will bring you a second wife. The guy has completely bought his own hype. He's swaggering around like this untouchable elite lord of the manor, completely forgetting that underneath the fancy clothes, he's just a runaway barber pulling a fast one.
But we all know pride comes before a massive fall. Section 4. The Astrologer and the Dark Secret. So a famous astrologer rolls into the village. Naturally, Param, whose ego is basically the size of a hot air balloon by now, decides he needs his wildly successful fortune read. He waits in line, steps right up, and proudly presents his palm. But the astrologer doesn't even glance at his hand. He just stares at Param's face, squints, and says, wait a minute, aren't you Param the barber from the next town over? Why on earth are you dressed up like a Brahmin? In one split second, Param's entire glorious fake reality shatters. He goes into full-blown panic mode, frantically begging the astrologer to keep his voice down and his secrets safe. And what do you think the going rate is to keep a lie of this magnitude quiet? 20 rupees. I'm serious, it's hilarious. Param desperately shoves a measly 20 rupees into the legendary astrologer's hands, pleading with him not to ruin his life. It so perfectly exposes the total cheapness of his character. Think about it.
He's out here scamming families out of entire houses and bags of groceries. But when faced with an existential threat, he tries to buy the guy off with literal pocket change. As you're about to see, that 20 rupees was a phenomenally bad investment.
Section 5. The wife's sharp counterattack.
Meanwhile, Aruna's poor mother sees how miserably Param treats her daughter, so she goes looking for help. And who does she find? The exact same astrologer. She asks for a remedy to tame her out-of-control son-in-law. The astrologer, who clearly feels zero loyalty to Param's pathetic 20-rupee bribe, decides to orchestrate some absolute top-tier revenge. He gives the mother a secret mantra for Aruna to memorize and hands her a highly specific object, an astura, which is a traditional barber's razor. He promises that if Aruna uses these the next time Param acts up, her cruel husband will instantly turn into a Beegi Billy. If you aren't familiar with the term, Beegi Billy literally translates to a wet cat. It's this fantastic Hindi idiom for someone who acts all big and tough, but suddenly becomes completely terrified, meek, and submissive.
Okay, let's set up this ultimate comedic climax. Just look at the contrast we have here. On one side, we have the Param we've known so far, the incredibly toxic fake Brahmin demanding constant foot massages and threatening to bring home a second wife. But then, we have the harsh reality he is about to run smack into. Aruna goes home fully armed with the razor and the secret knowledge from the astrologer. Right on cue, Param starts barking his usual arrogant orders and threatening at her. But this time, she doesn't back down an inch.
Instead, she pulls out that barber's razor, looks him dead in the eye, and loudly recites the astrologer's mantra. She yells, "The barber's son hid as a Brahmin in a Brahmin's house, and he is the biggest liar." Boom! The punchline lands perfectly. You can practically hear Param's massive ego shattering into a million pieces. The absolute terror sets in instantly. He knows if she tells the village the truth, they are going to literally break his arms and legs. All of that fake swagger evaporates on the spot. He transforms exactly into that wet cat. To shut her up and protect his very lucrative scam, he immediately starts begging for forgiveness. And the absolute best part? By the end of the scene, the power dynamic has completely flipped. It's Param sitting on the floor, obediently massaging his wife's feet, terrified out of his mind that she might expose him. It is just a brilliant, laugh-out-loud reversal of fortune. Param got his two-story house, he got his fake respect, but he ended up becoming a total prisoner to his own deception. He was forced into submission by the exact person he tried to bully. Which brings us to a final, thought-provoking question to wrap up our explainer today. Does a palace built on lies ever truly stand? Param built a whole kingdom of deceit, but it literally only took one person knowing the real truth to completely obliterate him. Really makes you wonder about the masks people wear every single day just to get ahead, doesn't it? Thank you so much for hanging out with us for this deep dive. Keep questioning, keep learning, and we will catch you in the next explainer.